Muted. Oh, there we go. Hi guys, welcome. I am very much alive. I'm still here. If you can hear me now, let me know in the chat. Working out with some issues on this side because I'm trying to fix things. Things have been a bit mental. So just for a quick one. I am very much alive. I am not dead. This isn't a ghost you're seeing. I am very much here. So it's been weird. It's been very, very strange week. Yeah, I said when things got a little bit better, I will be doing more live streams. Good to my word. I'm able to do more live streams. So, how are we all doing tonight? There are 12 people watching, 6 like up door. I hope you're well, mate. Looks like you got a good, interesting, friendly coming up. Are you going to that one, mate? But yes, it's been a weird week. It's been strange. It's gonna be a shortish live, but not too long. I've had a bit of a bad day illness-wise, so I don't want to be doing this for too long tonight. But I thought this needed to get talked about because it's an interesting topic. I think some of you have seen what Joe Cran has reported. It's interesting, isn't it? We're at this period again where we got a young player who's doing very well, and for some reason we can't get them to sign a new deal or agree on a new deal yet. And it's really interesting at the minute with Wednesday because we're in this really good position where everything firing on all cylinders. The people behind the scenes seem to be working well. It seems to be the team playing well, yet now we're back to this whole issue with contracts. And we got a couple of contracts that are due to be sorted. In that, hope you're well. Yeah, I apologise for having no sound. I am trying to do things a little bit different at the moment, and I need to figure it all out. Hold on. Are we back? Are we back? Let me know if we're back. Just put yes to saying if we're back. There we go, we're back. I don't know what's going on this weather thing. We got rain here tonight, and I don't know if it's causing a slight issue, so I will fix that. But yes, yeah, I've got to fix some stuff. Like I said, a lot of this is trial and error at the minute, trying to get things to work and fixed and all that kind of stuff. I've had some really bad random internet cutouts during today. It's been weird, so I'll have a look into that. It could be stuff to do with my router. It could be stuff to do with whatever. So, Dele Bashiru. So, we know he's out of contract in the summer. We also know in January he can sign a pre-contract with clubs abroad. So that's Scotland, Wales, France, Germany, Italy, Spain. And the interesting one is this Dutch link with PSV. Now, this is one of those weird ones. This doesn't feel like a Liam Shaw situation. I think this is a little bit different. Because with Shaw, we thought he needed to have some cue that. Cue the Celtic interest. I wouldn't mind that because his wife being a Celtic fan, she wouldn't mind that at all. But the thing with this is, with Liam Shaw and Urugidi, they weren't finished articles yet, and they were needing to be bedded into the team and play a little bit more. Now, with Bashiru, he isn't the finished article, but he's massively improved from last season to this season. He looks like he'd been in the gym. He looks like he'd been properly on the weights, which is good to see. He can knock a player off the ball, which is something that midfielders out that we currently got doesn't have. We don't have a strong commanding player in that midfield. We do now. And he's a good age. He's that really good age where Darren Moore can build something around him or get him better. And I'm at that point with Bashiru where it sounds like everybody wants him to stay. Darren wants him to stay. It sounds like the lad wants to stay. I'm now starting to think this is more to do with, have we put a contract out in front of him and his team, i.e. agents or whatever, his representation, are going, we want a little bit more, or we want this. This is the thing. Fizz is out of contract at Arizona Eagle in the summer. And it came out via Joe Cran on Tuesday night that PSV are interested in him, the Dutch outfit. Now, this makes a lot of sense. They'll probably get Champions League football this season. So they'll have that next season. It's the agents. Agents, once again, playing a big say in what happens. And I want him to have a really long contract as well, Joni, the Silverback Dragon. I really want him to have a long contract, long 4-year contract, see what he can do, put in a sell-on clause if you need be, if you want to protect it that way. So if someone comes in, then we know that this is the set amount, this is the release clause, sorry. And if he does go to PFV, you want a massive sell-on fee if he leaves. So say he does do well and he goes back to, say, Man City or something where he was a youth team player. You want at least a 10 to 15% sell-on with it. Now, it's interesting to see what's happening because we're not, as a club, we're good at giving. I don't know if it's our negotiations were a little bit tough, or if a player says they want such and such, we bucket it. I don't know. I really don't know. It's one of those things where I would love to be a fly on the wall and find out what's actually going on with this deal, because this deal seems like it's rumbling on and on and on. We've been speaking about it. Let me have a look. I can have a look because I've done videos on this. Let's have a look when the last video I did on this was. Because it's turning into how things were during the summer with Wilkes. Let's have a look. Dele. I put Dele in here. 2nd of November, 15th of November, 31st of November, 8th. Oh, no, what am I about? Sorry. 2nd of November, 15th of September, 31st of August, 8th of August. We have done, in terms of this, a lot of videos on this channel. Like, we started 12th of July during the transfer market is where everything started going. And since then, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus this live stream now. So there's a lot of talk with him. And it's interesting to know where we go here. 17 people are watching this. The 6 likes, get those likes up for me, please. I much appreciate it. 20 now. Hello, welcome to this live stream. Also, if you want to support the channel, there is super thanks. And if you want to support it even better, put a subscription, a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel. You'll get all your Wednesday stuff. I am planning to do more live streams. So, with this, it'll be interesting to see where we go, because I don't think it's a case where he doesn't sign, oh, great, we're losing out on a player. We are losing out on a player, but I mean, we're not. It's like we'll have to go to the drawing board and find someone else and stuff. And one of the things that Darren Moore said when he first came into the club was, it was the thing with Liam Shaw, when Liam Shaw and Odegaard left, he made it very clear that won't happen again. He kind of made like a kind of, under my watch, that won't happen again. And if that does happen, I don't know if that's a failing of what Chansiri's done, or failing us as a club to convince him to stay, because he's getting the first team football now. Recently, he's been starting to get the first team football. He struggled with a range of injuries. Let's be fair, he's had a range of injuries that have kind of stopped the progression to where it goes. Now, if we go to transfermarket.co.uk, I apologize if I'm looking over there. My screen's there. I've changed things around a little bit. Competitions, League One, clubs, because there is a big call for saying we should have accepted that bid from Blackpool in the summer and gone. We'll just put a a sell-on fee if they sell him on. But he's been so vital in that midfield in certain games. It's interesting to see, right? Let's have a look. So according to this, he transfer market value 300k, but that was from October 15th, 2020. If we look at that by currently this season, he's played 13 league games, 4 goals, 2 in the EFL Cup, 1 goal, 1 in the EFL Trophy, and 1 in the FA Cup. He's played a total of 801 minutes and 17 appearances, 5 goals, 3 assists, and 1 yellow card. Now, he's starting to look like a player who can really go on and do something now. The problem for me is we need to get him to a point where he can be tied down and say, this is what you want. I don't know if we turn around and say, we offer this and we go there. Mighton's starting to come into his own now, though. He's looking like the player that I thought he was going to be when we signed him. Took him a while to get into the squad. He scored against Morecambe in the FA Cup and scored at the weekend and got the winner. He's looking well. His development's really starting to look decent. It'd be interesting to see what you guys do with him in the January, because I personally, as a fan, I want him to stay, and I think you as a club probably want him to stay for the season, like you did with a Brennan Johnson at Lincoln. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there, because I know he does have recall in January if you want it, but I can't see Cooper doing that, to be fair. But he's been doing decent. He's been looking lively, and it's nice to see him doing well. So he's not good enough for Forest. Do you reckon it was those ones that he's not good enough full stop, or is he not good enough, he'll never have a Forest career, so it might be a case of we might be able to look at signing him on a permanent? But he's looking good, though, I'm not going to lie. And good win for you before the break. I hope that kickstarts it and you can have a mini pre-season 2 with all the players you got in. I actually think the World Cup break is going to help Forest, because I think it's going to make them be able to put down a lot of the stuff that Cooper wants to do. You've seen that a little bit now. You're going to get players who are able to bed in. Have you got many players going to the World Cup at all, mate? Can't see him playing for Forest again if we stay in the Premier League. Yeah, I think if you went down, you might have an opportunity, because it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Forest does on this one, because personally, I wouldn't mind signing him. I know people will be like, oh, he's only had a good couple of games, but there's a player there that we could utilise. And I think having a player we could utilise would be very, very handy. On the Dele thing, I'm intrigued. Let's put it this way. I'm intrigued on what's going on in terms of behind the scenes talking and how things are going, because there are bits of it where you look at it and you go, surely with what's been said by Barry Bannon, what's been said by Darren Moore, the only person who's not really come out, he came out in the win against Pompey and not said anything, is the man himself. And I get what people are saying. I understand that people are like, why are we not hearing from him what he wants? Now, in this game, you have to listen to your advisors. You have to go with what they say. So they may be turning around, don't do any media stuff. Keep it dumb, don't say the media stuff, and go, right, keep it quiet because we're working on a deal. He's already said that the deal, he concentrate on his football, that for people behind the scenes. Fair enough. If I remember correctly, Dele, when he came to us from Man City, I'm pretty sure I heard about him. Hey, Nat. Hey, DJ. I'm pretty sure I heard about him getting rid of his agent when he came here. originally because there was a problem with getting a deal sorted. I hope that's not the case again. I really hope that's not the case again. I don't want to be seeing that again, especially if this is an agent he likes. But it also felt a bit weird. It feels like, I don't know, it feels like, if I don't want to say we may have promised him something when we turned down those bids for from Blackpool, but he's starting to show a lot of promise and starting to show his ability. And when he comes off the bench or when he starts, he makes a difference now. In the past, we used to see him playing. It was like, oh, he's a little bit, wait for the ball, a bit too lazy. Now he gets the ball and he just knock people out the way. He really do. Let me read some of your comments here. Obviously, we want Biz to stay, but sadly, we can't guarantee promotion at this stage. If we can get top 2 by Christmas, he just might stay. Very true, that might happen, but like we said on the Talking Wednesday podcast, it is very, very tight. There's injury problem going on at Plymouth and Ipswich, which helps us down to a T. It could help. It could help 100%. Us being in like the top 2 and we're not having to go via playoffs. There's a long bit of this season to go, though. Let's also remember that there's a lot of the season to go. And I think we got an opportunity to tie down him at a good contract. And the thing is, I think we got a good way of tying him down. By turning around, we want to see you progress here. And we could turn around and say, to them and go to Dele's lot, like going, look, sign this deal. It's a 4-year deal, but we will put a clause in there that says the release clause is this much. And if someone hits it, you can talk to. But if you do go, we also then put a sell-on fee with the new club. It's a difficult situation to be in for Wednesday because we have shown in the past we are so bad at the kind of deals. We struggle at these deals. We knew last season that he was going to be a big part of the club, a big part of the team at one point, or we would have got rid of him. So we need to get him signed down quickly as possible. And the problem is with him scoring, his stock going higher. With him doing good games, his stock keeps rising, and teams are noticing that. Let's have a look here. Why do we constantly mess around with 1-year deals? It makes no sense. We don't know if he's on a 1-year deal, though. I believe he was on like a 4-year deal when we originally signed him. Have a look. Have a look when he signed it. I don't think it's a case of 1-year deals. I think it's more to do with the fact that, and the thing is, Blackpool can still look at him. That's the thing. Blackpool can still look at him and could just turn around and say, you know what, we wanted you in the summer. We'll just get you next summer on a free instead and not pay anything. This is the big issue because when let's have a look at his thingy. He signed on undisclosed free in 2020. He made his senior debut. So 2020. So he's been here 2-3 years. What is he? 20, 21, 2020, 21, 22. So he's probably been on a 2-year deal, 2-3-year deal, which makes sense when you're thinking about him as a player and you're not sure where he's gonna hit. So yeah, let's have a look here. I had a bet on Wednesday to win the league outright and still confident we'll still do it. Hope you're right, Andrew. I really hope you're right. Let's hope this happens. Do we think we'll sign players in Jan in defence? It must or tie down. I think we'll still sign players if we can. So Wilkes is a hard one though, DJ. I know you don't rate him. Wilkes is a hard one. I don't think he's the kind of player we just get rid of, considering how much we went for him. We went very hard, very quickly to get Wilkes. And I think for Wilkes, it's just biding his time a little bit and getting these little knocks off. Like, to be fair to Dele, he's had 45 appearances and 5 goals so far, and that's actually quite a good return. But I think we will go for defenders. We do need help in that bit. Well, this is the thing, Andrew. If you're saying what we value him at, we turned down I think it was a close to 1 million bid by Blackpool. So we obviously rate him higher than what they offered. Right? So if we're going to sell him, you want to sell him in January. But the problem is people won't touch him because they can sign him for free in the summer. And again, it'll go down to Wednesday doing bad business again and letting a player leave on a free transfer. They go down to the club being better at negotiation and getting these done earlier. A lot earlier. Getting them done earlier than what we're doing. Like, the best time for doing these right now would be this period where it's one game a week. We need to be sitting down with the players who are out, who we want, and getting them signed up and getting out the way. So it'd be interesting. Seems strange watching him out here. Isn't Bailey a free to leave in the summer? Bailey Cadamartri, do you mean, Joni? No, Bailey Cadamartri has got a very long, I think it's about a 4-year deal. I believe he's got a 4-year deal lined up, so he's not going anywhere yet. I say yet because football can change, but he's got a big deal. Again, another one of these ones where you want him to see what he can do and see how he can do. Bailey won't be going on free. He did sign a new deal. Not just get a pint of water and pretend it. I like that. I'll stick to cups of tea. Wouldn't think Blackpool are in too much of a great bargain position for SD. They might be. Is that true? That's true. They could be the situation, and if that's the case, and they are struggling, but you never know. Ronaldo from Man U, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot ball, mate. It sounds very, very toxic at the minute at Manchester United. Yes, he's a good player, but what Ronaldo's done, he's lost a lot of suitors who would normally be jumping on him and trying to get him as soon as they can. And a lot are not touching him due to what come out and what's been said. And to be fair, it was really dumb doing that interview he did. Chancellor will spend 10 million in January, I feel. Bendergaden 2 will ensure promotion. As long as it's not on one player, I'm fine. If he did that, brilliant, Jim. Fair enough. But realistically, what do we actually need in January? Because apart from defence, again, I say it again, I wanted one extra defender. I didn't get it. It's what I would have got. But realistically, what do we actually need in January? Because so far, looking at things, we look decent. I wouldn't mind a winger, an actual general winger, but we don't play with wingers. So it's a difficult one. It's like when I did the Dominic Iorfa video. That got some flack. Now, he's better as a right back or right wing back. I think he looked better in that position than centre back. And as a lot of people said, Palmer can play centre back or right wing back. It's interesting there because we definitely need. I'd probably say we probably need another left back. Hunt, for whatever's happened this year with illness, he doesn't seem to be able to get consistently unill, if that makes sense. He really struggled, and maybe we see a different Jack Hunt in the later stages in the season. But I would say it's a little bit to do with left and right back, ideally, and probably a centre mid, and see what comes out and round. It all depends on if a Mark McGuinness go back to Cardiff, if a Daniel James go back to Blackpool. It'll be interesting to see where we're at with everything. in terms of what loan coming. The nice thing this season, we're not relying heavily on loans. The thing that I got is that we've made a lot of good chances this season in front of net. It's just a shame none of them have been buried properly. Turn that heater off. None of them been clinical enough for me, and that's a bit of a concern. It would be good to see if they could start being, they making chance, but they start hitting them in the back of the net. Like one of the things I read, pardon me. One of the things I read the other day was when they've got 22 goals at home, and it's the most in the league so far. So it would be interesting there with it all, because we are scoring a lot of goals at home, but we're not scoring enough, if that makes sense. We need to score a lot more than what we're doing. Let me read some of your comments. Here's Ronaldo been linked with Aston United. That'd be interesting. They treated him like crap, though, Jake. The Glazers and even Ten Hag. Oh no, I understand that. Even Ten Hag, he turned on him for his. No, I understand that the Glazers have treated him like crap, and I get that, but the timing of the interview doesn't bode well for me. But then again, the club at the same time knew this interview was going out at some point. It's more I feel for the fans. If the one thing that this interview does for Man United fans, if anything, it just builds their Glazers out movement, which probably won't go anywhere because the Glazers had too much of a stake, and it's brand SD. Like, you've looked at what they're wanting to do when if Ronaldo goes. They want to go get Mbappe. Well, that's all about shirt sales. They're probably a lot cheaper and probably easier deal to get than that. It's all about the brand for them. This was about protecting brand Cristiano Ronaldo. And yeah, Man United had treated him very poorly. But also, just remember, Zlatan came in and said it's nowhere good enough behind the scenes. Jose came in and said it's nowhere good enough behind the scenes. There's things that you can do to improve it, and they're not doing. And that's the thing for me. They need to improve things. And until that starts happening, Man United will try and get that top four. But the problem is with the top four now, Newcastle look superb at the minute. And granted, people go, yes, they're buying the lead. But at the same time, it's interesting to see what happens. I get it. I get what you're saying. But the timing of the interview wasn't great. I'll put it this way. The timing of the interview wasn't great. It is fun, actually, Jed. It's funny. But it's going nowhere. I want another forward to play next to Smith. Gregory's not clinical enough. And Windass, not really a striker. Yeah, Windass, even Windass has said on Twitter, the queen of Twitter, as his nickname in the dressing room is, has said he's not a striker. He's more as like a number 10, just goes across that front three and plays where he wants. And he's done that a lot this season. I don't know what's going on with Gregory. Gregory seems like he's just misfiring, but he didn't get a lot of goals last season till the back end of the season. So it'll be interesting there. Another one who's out of contract in the summer and could sign pre-contract somewhere. And for him, he's 35, I think, 34, 35. So he'll be looking for one last club, possibly. We're missing someone clinical. I'm not going to lie. You look at that forward line with Gregory and Smith. One got 17 goals last season, the other 23, 24. They should be scoring more than what they are doing at the moment. And it's just not there yet. Because if you look at top scorers in the... let's go to League One a minute. Let's have a look. Goal fixtures. League. If my keyboard will work. League One. So, hang on a moment. Top scores in League One. So, your top scores at the minute in League One are Clark Harris at Peterborough United, 12. Collins with 10 at Bristol Rovers. Brown at Exeter City, 9. Colby Bishop at Portsmouth, 9. Would have loved to have got Colby Bishop in the summer as well. Nombele at Exeter City with 8. Adiojo at Burton. Whittaker at Plymouth. Harrison at Port Vale, Fleetwood. Okay, I must have moved. Ryan Hardy at Plymouth. Azaz at Plymouth. Ensign at Plymouth, all on 7 and 6 between them. There's nobody out of our lot in the top 16. No one. By the looks of this. Hang on, let's have a look. Devante Cole. And that because we scored a lot of the goals spread around. A lot of the goals this season have been spread around all over the place. And that's a good thing because it's kind of like you're not relying on just one person. But you want your striker to be clinical, and so far they're just not there yet. You hope they are. Let's have a look. Gregory looks like he's lost a yard this season. Probably a little bit, yeah. Someone like Collins at Bristol Rovers next to Smith would be great. That's not a bad shout, but it'd be interesting what we do on striker because we were all meant to be. And DJ, I apologise in advance because I know you don't like Wilt, but with what he's shown so far, and I can understand that he's not been what we all thought he might be. He's not come across as that player we thought he was going to be yet. I don't know if that's due to settling in time or what. Striker's a position which will be interesting where we would go and get someone. But it says a lot when you look at the top 3 and when they haven't got a single player in the 16 top scorers. Now, I bet if you go to assists, Barry Bannon with 5, Josh Windass with 4. There's someone else there. Where was it? I just saw it. Josh Windass with 4. Annoyingly with this, Mendes Lang has got 4 assists for Derby County. It's one of those ones. Assist-wise, we're doing great. Goal-wise, like Barry Bannon's got 5 assists and 4 goals. Josh Windass has got 4 assists, 4 goals. Windass is looking like the player we could have done with last season at times. So it's interesting to see how we do. So let's have a look. Funk Chef 41. Did you see the paper did an interview with Luke Varney? He was gutted when we went down and he missed a one-on-one versus Fly. Yeah, I have seen that, mate. It was a good interview, actually. I was pretty impressed with how he came across. He came across really well, and it showed you how much he was really wanting to try and keep us up. And I like that. Yep, would have had Bishop. Yep. Let's have a look. Said it for on here. On here, though, not really worried about how many Gregors and Smith are scoring if we're winning games. That's true. Yeah, that's true. It's that whole thing. There is the beautiful thing is if you're scoring goals from everywhere, it doesn't become an issue, and we're winning. We're in that top 3 race at the minute. We're 1 or 2 points behind Ipswich. Plymouth and Ipswich have got injury coming up at the minute as well, and it'll be interesting to see who drops some of the stuff. So it will be interesting there. Is it Adeniran injured again? I think we need to. Yeah, Adeniran is injured again. I really do think he's out of contract in the summer, actually. It wouldn't surprise me if Adeniran does get moved on. Let's have a look here. Players. Adeniran. I think it's like another knee injury as well. If that's the case, that ain't good. Let's have a look at stats. To be fair, my FIFA stuff, I always sell Adeniran. 2022, he's had surgery from it's injury again. He had 21-22. It was January the 24th till June 30th, and he missed 22 games. So he's lost a lot of games already. So yeah, I can understand that one. And how does he get into this midfield as well? That's the thing. He got a situation where how does he get into this midfield now? Like, seriously, how does he get in? Let's have a look. Wilkes hardly played. Give him a chance. Oh, no, I understand that. I'm not saying that Wilkes shouldn't be in the squad. I'm just saying that DJ on here, not a fan of him. Wilk, for me, is a player who will come good. I wouldn't have done so many videos. I was one of the people who wanted him to come in. Why I made so many videos on him. I think there's a player there, but there are some people who are not convinced yet. But like you said, he played 13 games and 7 league games and 1 goal. He's not had a proper full run in the team yet. Probably enough, though, games where he scored, though, right winger, not played as centre forward, played as a right winger. So for me, Wilkes will come good. We wouldn't have gone after him, for me, if that wasn't the case. I think it was good. Let's have a look. For a striker in January will be big, though. Can see chance of spending there again. Wilkes still look pretty full. Let's see what happens with Wilkes. Wilkes still got time to show what he can do. So he's on a big contract. Let's see what happens there. So our young Gary Hooper will be superb right now. It will be ideal. We always get these players who have really good careers and all been really good to us near the back end, and you just wish you had them like in their prime. Which, not saying he wasn't in his prime when he played for Wednesday, but he did have little bits of injury. Cole Sturtson's not going this season. He played as high as he'll go. Will be. Cole Stockton's an interesting one. Had 1 good season with Morecambe and then threw his toys out the pram, from what I've heard from a Morecambe fan, a friend of mine. Be interesting because they probably do want him off the books. It's a possibility, but you would want him to come good straight away. So hopefully that would happen. And with not having much game time, it would be interesting to see what you did there. 1 point behind, it's with 5 off Plymouth. There we go. Thank you, Nat. Nat with the stats. That to be fair, that is about. It shows you though. It shows you it's working. Like weekend, we got Shrewsbury Town, and we play them at home. We win that. The other 2 drop points or even get draws. We're looking pretty. We're looking good. It's a good position to be in. I agree with Alan. Hooper with class. Anything about Femi Wu? Femi Wu is back in training, I believe. I think he's either back in training this week or next week, Darren Moore said. Back in training, looking decent, look like he's back to what he wants to be. He's looking decent. He looks like he'll probably be back in contention for starting soon, which will be great. The 34 people watching this stream, if you could hit the like button, it will really help. It'll help the algorithm when the video goes live as a video, so much appreciate it. Let's have a look. I thought Darren Moore said he was back in training. Yeah, I think he did. I don't think Dell will sign, but I'm trying my way. Thank you, Darren Moore. I really hope you can get him to sign it. Just put it in front of him while he's asleep and sign it. Then it'll be fine. I don't think we should have gone for him, yes, initially, but once Hull wanted more, looked elsewhere. I think we did look elsewhere. That's the thing, DJ. I think when the initial bid for Wilkes didn't go through, I think we looked at Sam Cockgrove from Birmingham, who Plymouth have got on loan. I think we went to have a look, and the reason why we didn't get Cockgrove in the January window, because we did look at him. We brought in Jules John, who ironically now injured at Ipswich, and Darren Moore said he didn't want another striker in, which may have been, in hindsight, is brilliant. Going, yeah, we'll get him in just in case, but hindsight's a beautiful thing. But it would have been nice to get him in, and he looked like he's doing really well. Dunkley winner. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. I hope not. I really hope not for a Dunkley winner. I'd rather just try and get it. Peterborough will probably get 10 million for Clark Harris to a champion side. Peterborough's model is always so good, Jim West. I've always been so impressed with how they sign players from non-league to League 2, and then they make them into great players, and then they sell them on. Peterborough's had a record of doing this for ages. Some of the players they found have been just like Ivan Toney was at Peterborough. Like they know where to get a player from. Like Newcastle didn't want him. He goes to Peterborough, then gets his Brentford moved, and look where he is now. It's so interesting watching how Ivan Toney and Peterborough are just so good at signing players out of left field and getting them to work. They are very good at just getting those kind of players that you think, yeah, that'll work, and see how it goes. I think if you need to like copy a model, the Peterborough way to do it for me. That's it. Peterborough's way of doing things is the way to do it. Get them good, sell them on, then get the sell on fee and move on. I think the way they do business is superb. Yeah, I've seen that. It's not a good look, that really, is it, for betting accounts? I've just seen that as I Googled it. Robbie cheered demo. I'm thinking about England. I think I will do better job than Southgate. Go for it, Darren. I wish you luck. Go put it in. You could do Wente job and the England job. Easy. Anyone bothered about the World? I couldn't care less about the World Cup, to be honest with you. I just can't be arsed. I'll be very, very blunt. I really can't be bothered with this World Cup. I think it's in the wrong place. I think it's corrupt like FIFA is, and I think it's a completely bogus place to go. It was like today, a Danish reporter was reporting on the World Cup, and they turned up, told him you can't film here, you can't film anything, please put your cameras away. And it's like, people are going to want to find out what's going on in the World Cup, even if that is via like the cameras and stuff and all this kind of stuff. It's insane. It's insane. Surely they know people want to know about the World Cup and find out how the facilities are or what's going on. And then the moment you try to report on it, it's immediate like, no, you cannot report on this. You must like put your camera down. Like, people have been putting videos up of some of the things outside the stadium. Like, outside the stadium, there have been issues with like the bits of the road that's paths that's like got mad holes in it, where somebody could fall in. Like, the way it's been done, and I think some of the grounds haven't been completed yet, or they're close to not being complete. It's very interesting how the World Cup have been. It's an absolute farce. I really can't be bothered with the World Cup this year. It's a shame because it's been really, really bad. Simon Brent, it's funny, isn't it, how Peterborough sell and I think Brentford and Peterborough do tend to do a lot of business between themselves. It's funny how Peterborough and Brentford got a really good model, and I would like us to do it more and more if we can. A warm country will win the World Cup, maybe Argentina. My money's on Brazil. They've got a good team this year. Let's have a look. When was the last time we sold a player for a large sum of money? Last time we sold a player for a large sum of money would have been, depends how much you're talking. I think Zhao got sold for a lot of money. Not like double figure, but I think it was, 3 or 4 million? Yeah, we're not very good at selling. Zhao was the last one for me. Who was it? And yeah, there's the ways as being a selling club. Just to let you know, I've been going just letting you. Yeah, don't worry, mate. I've just got to keep the eye on it. I'm gonna go till do the hour mark and then stop. I'm gonna probably play some Call of Duty actually. I do appreciate that, mate. I get into a flow. That's the nice thing about live streams. Let's have a look. If they'll go, we should have the biggest ever sell-on clause. Yep, I agree. Sell-on clauses should be great. It's how we make the money back if they're going to be good. Jim West, I can't focus on League One and the World Cup. Jim, for me, it's League One. I'm not bothered by the World Cup this year. Hurtful to say that, but I'm really not. Maybe we get the Euros in 2028 bid. Maybe. That would be interesting. Absolute farce if World Cup. Very, very true. Zhao, yep. World Cup equal. Boop. Yep. Crew used to be a good selling club. You're right. Just to let you know, you've been going for just over half hour. As you're okay, though, I just thought I'd keep an eye. Yeah, I appreciate that, DJ. It's one of those things. Actually been 50 minutes. I was looking at the what count. No worry, mate. The grateful discount it there. Even Blatter says so. It should have loads of selling footballers. So the thing is, there's so many people who were dead against this World Cup, and then suddenly they're over there for the money. Like, I stick to your principles. If you don't want to be there and you come out and said, I don't want this World Cup to be here. Don't go over there to work. It's very, very simple. Let's have a look. If Chancery had sold from our playoff side, I think we've have about 40 million in profits made to nothing for 40 areas. That's the thing. That playoff squad, you could have sold that playoff squad off, got a lot of money back, and then reinvested it into the squad again. You didn't have to keep all of them. But at the same time, when players were looking at good value, that's when the iron was hot to go, yeah, we'll accept that, we'll reinvest it, we'll get a player from League 1, League 2, look oversure. That's how it works. You sell them on. That annoyed me. That just really annoyed me. But you're right, there was about 40 million. If you look at how much money we let walk out the door in that season where we lost Fortieri, Rhodes, Fletcher, and all went on freeze. It's ridiculous. Question, do you think Hillsborough will ever get a lick of paint or are they? The plan from our World Cup bid looked great. Maybe when we're Prem side. Now, stadium-wise is interesting because Chancery's always said anything to do with stadium, and I think he said it like third or fourth year in charge, said it will be something we do when we get to the Premier League. Right, I get that. I understand that. But that stadium needs modernising. It needs more than a lick of paint. But at the same time, the big thing is the stadium and the training ground both either we need to move from that training ground because that training ground is not adequate for what we're trying to do. If I were Chancery, I'd find a bit of land somewhere in Sheffield for sale and do that. Because the thing with the stadium, Chancery can do things to the stadium and not get hit by FFP because he owns it outright. The club doesn't own it. Chancery owns the stadium. So it wouldn't go against FFP. Whatever he did to it, it wouldn't go against it because it's technically not part of the club. It's a third party interest, i.e. Chancery. The training ground, we don't own that land. That land is rented off the council. That is council land. So if they suddenly went, we need to go out of here, we would have to quickly find somewhere to go train. Chancery needs to find a bit of land. And to do that, you would have to take a bit of a chunk out of a transfer budget. That's basically what happened at Leicester. Leicester just built this amazing training ground. It's superb. But they took a huge chunk out of their training budget to do it. You look at teams who have new stadiums. A lot of the times, the transfer budget is shrunk because they spent a lot of money getting the stadium right. There's ways of doing it where we can get Hillsborough sorted without it being affected by FFP kind of thing. So it would be good. I wish we got the World Cup stadium bid. Oh, it would have been fantastic. That stadium looks superb, didn't it? Like doing, please. Yeah, please get those likes up. I will be stopping soon though because I've done nearly an hour, which is an hour more than I want to do. But I got really into doing live streams. Like I said once I was in a position to do live streams more, it would happen. We would get live streams, and I'm good to my word. I remember the Euros about the Danes. Yes. Will the Presto stand ever get painted the non-Sheffield? It doesn't mean much to me. The Presto stand, I've heard rumours in the past that they've gone up to go do it and then it never got done. I think the bits of those, you looked in, I think it was in the summer when we were installing the new floodlights, I think things got looked at the roof of the stadium to see if anything needed doing. And I think when we were getting those floodlights put in, we were slowly getting a picture what might need doing. And I think if that's the case, that's brilliant. It would be great to see that. I heard a rumour that Everton once offered 12 million for Jow and we rejected it. If that's the case, that was dumb. I would have taken 12 million, snapped the hands off. If that was a true rumour, that was dumb. But this is the thing. Back then, we did stupid things where we thought, no, we'll keep the play for a little longer. We'll keep the play for a little longer. Paint the NK Don Stadium blue and I'll be happy. with that as a new home. Love that day. It's a lovely stadium, and don't get me wrong, I've got a very good friend who's an MK Don fan. I'm just still doesn't sit right with me with what happened with MK Dons and Wimbledon and how it happened, moving a team. It just felt wrong, and it still feels wrong to this day. I don't know if that's me being a traditionalist or what. It just felt wrong. The thing is, at one point, there was talk of the RAF base getting bought by either Wednesday or United, and now that's gone quiet because I think it's being built for houses or a retail park or something like that. Yeah, the MK Dons, it does. MK equal plastic club. Yeah, I'm not. It's hard because I've got a friend who's a very good friend who's an MK Don fan, but it still just feels horrible. We'd had to be called the London Wednesday then. No thanks. Yeah. So guys, we'll go to the hour because it's 58. I like to keep things at a good thing. So is there anything else that people got on the mind? There will be a live stream Friday night as well. The usual Wednesday weekly roundup, which I will get a idea of what to talk about. It'll be a mixture of this, but we'll be able to deep dive down more press conference as well. I think if we can like, I want to try and deep dive on the press conference a little bit, like not do a like a react, but talk about what's been said, have an idea of how it is, that kind of stuff. Because I think it'll be good to see what happens with that. Yes, beer and a punk Friday, yes, very much so. I may even have a drink myself that night. But yeah, it's good to be doing lives again. So thank you for joining me. This was Unexpected Live. Really good analytic by looking at it. So I much appreciate that. I'll have a look at stuff after the stream. But thank you for watching. Hit that like button when you're going. I'll see you on Friday, and everyone be safe and happy and well. And yeah, I'll try and give you a bit more notice when I do one of these. I'm thinking a Wednesday, a Let Talk Wednesday on a Wednesday, and a Sheffield Wednesday roundup on the Friday, as well as videos if there's anything that comes out midweek and games and stuff like that. If people like that idea, let me know. I think it'll be good to have more of the community involved. I'll give you a shout in the press. Thank you, Darren. I much appreciate that. Ever reached out to Wednesday to speak to players in a stream? You and Dex would be great. Something we tried to do in the past. Yes, we have. We're going to do it again. We're going to try again. Check the next live stream, guys, when Jake will be alive and kicking. Yes. Also, if you see that the people who are going that I'm dead, right? Please just turn around and say very much alive and report the comment. That's what to do now. Just report the comment and it'll probably go away. It's been doing my head in. It's actually caused a lot of issue behind the scenes personally. So yes, if you see it, please just call it out and report it. Well, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.